I'm a fan of Mr. Zeph. I like his takes. I like his takes. I think he's right about TPUSA, and I know he's right about gang stalking. So please enjoy Mr. Zeph Daniel on the Apple Podcast.
The military training side of gang stalking and infiltration. And as it relates to the TPUSA, and you have to understand, though, there's always a spiritual dimension in gang stalking. You know, even if it's just like bad vibes, that you'll fall for it, that you'll get tricked by it, okay? Because a lot of it is a confidence game. I had heard from Candace Owens about this couple that bought a gym near a military facility that specializes in psyops. Okay, right? The Huachuca facility. I can't read it. Is it psyops?
Huachuca.
Psyops?
Or Huachuca.
Yes or no, psyops? Is that what you're saying? Okay. And so this couple get a gym, and then there's another, you know, and they're going to church, maybe a Calvary Chapel or something like it. And they meet another couple that is all enthusiastic about the gym and training. And soldiers will go down there, and they'll need the gym. They'll train for about 4 months, 6 months. And so they're all excited to invite this couple to invest, and they matched the investment. So they became founding members. They all had thrown in the same amount of money, relatively. But what happened is, after a few months, it turned into what Candace was saying was a hostile takeover. And the reason I'm listening to Candace is I'm listening to the follow-up on it's really the Fed's point of view and the unfortunate mainstream so-called truth teller point of view versus Candace's questions regarding the death of Charlie Kirk, which apparently, whether it's Alex Jones or anyone else, none of these people seem to be able to answer anything. And now they've given, you realize yesterday they got the green light, TPUSA. So they are now launched. And I just want America to know, American Christians to know how stupid you are. You know, you're the most stupid fucking blight on this earth that has ever been, more than any Satanist could ever be. So let me go start with that. And I'm sorry, but it's because you look the other way on pedophilia, human trafficking, corrupt business practices, and of course the whole experience with Charlie Kirk. But I mean, this is all very general. But these evangelical churches, like Calvary Chapel is named because because the head pastor, the guy who tried to also do a hostile takeover of TPUSA, was the head pastor at the Calvary Chapel in Thousand Oaks, California, named Rob McCoy. I've dealt with their pastors. I've dealt with their whole organization, and it's corrupt to the core, to the absolute core. I mean, they make TBN look like angels, but it's because they indulge in nefarious, satanic, they have a pattern of infiltrating TPUSA, for example, like infiltrating, and where McCoy at one point tried to apparently appoint himself the founder of TPUSA and take it away from Charlie Kirk. So, I mean, you've got all this stuff. But anyway, in this case with the couple, so they launched like a hostile takeover. The couple, the original investor, the original founders lost the gym. to this couple that came in, and they used, infiltration techniques, and they're classic gang stalking techniques. The kind of gang stalking techniques that I'm going to get deep into this, so I'm going to have some fun here today. The kind of gang stalking techniques that Randy Quaid talks about with respect to the business managers and accountants getting hold of deeds to the mansions that they have, and then, buying and selling them for themselves. And also just incidentally, the deaths like Heath Ledger and other celebrities at the same time. He called them star whackers. He didn't have the nomenclature for gang stalking or the, it's a little known thing because, first of all, it's a military psyop. They learn to infiltrate, become your best friend, and then turn you. They can infiltrate TPUSA and then turn them. Yeah, but, to me, it looks like most of the people that are already corrupt are already running it. And turn them. And the test for the Christian is, do they figure it out? And the answer is, and Trish was asking me earlier, she was saying, do you think that even with all this stuff coming out about, the cover up of the assassination, all this stuff, when it comes out, will they finally get it and understand they're part of a corrupt organization, something the Lord would never tolerate, and that it basically is a corporation based on idolatry of celebrities, which are made within the each chapter has its leadership, and those leaders are pretty much worshipped, just like pastors. And I was, so anyway, the signs are there. They'll invite you in, sign up, they come to your home, they see that you have posters on the wall of heavy metal. They want those taken down immediately. They want to basically mind control you from the ground up. They don't break you down to nothing and build you back up, but they do break you down somewhat, in the sense that they want all people who are there to be basically conformed conservatives, conform to the world system, conservatives able to make a dent in the onslaught of what they consider pure evil, which of course would be, say, the Democrat, communist, globalist machine. And the thing is, they put themselves as better than that. And of course, that's where you get into trouble. Anyway, the gang stalking that goes on is obviously, we've seen a lot of that in our culture. People that don't conform get targeted and then, canceled and whatnot. And people that do, they tend to last longer. Now, what I've come to understand about TPUSA is that, they make offers to people to come be a part of their organization, to buy them. And in exchange for all the perks that you get, they just require you to look the other way on evil, to just be a good hang, to not cause trouble, but to just go along to get along and receive your millions of dollars. And, just like they would with any talent, to recruit it. And Erica Kirk, it's not, surprising. People have seen demons crawling out of her right and left. And they keep running. She actually last night spoke in Phoenix and had the same fireworks going off on the stage as during the Charlie Kirk memorial. Did you know that? Had I joined them and then went to one event and then went to that one, had I seen that, I would take my family and leave immediately, knowing that they're after my children. They're after my mind. They want to fuck everybody up to the point where they're afraid to say anything. and then operate as a political cabal in the world that has nothing to do with the will of God. And who they've selected apparently last night for President of the United States for the next round is J.D. Vance, who I guarantee you will lose. He has nothing, absolutely no charisma, nothing. He sounds pretty good, but up against anybody else at this point, after all the shenanigans Trump has run, these guys are holding on to this idea of the midterms. I actually think the midterms are a foregone conclusion. I think that they were already lost, and I believe they were planned to be lost. I believe it's planned for Trump to step down, and anyone like him. And that's the deal that was made, probably to save his family or to, I don't know, whatever reason people do things. And so if you look at this, I don't even know what you call someone like Erica Kirk. She's such a monster that it's a female version of Adolf Hitler. I don't know. But the idea that these people say they follow Jesus and can't see that also puts, unfortunately, Mel Gibson in the spotlight of being a blind fool. Glad he's doing the Jesus thing, but he never really has been, nothing's really been right. The whole Catholic contingent or them or TPUSA or Calvary Chapel, any of it has never really been right. And my proof is going to be the way that we're going to be treated very soon. We'll show the wrath of God. And all I can say is, when I look at everything, it's sort of like, well, what would have had to have happened to have avoided the wrath of God, to avoided, the bloodbath to come and some of the problems that will be coming up? Probably it would have just been people being pure-hearted and honest, about their situation. And the Bible is completely dedicated to the idea of loyalty. In other words, conforming to Christ, conforming to the world. Which one? And you know what you've done. People know what they've done. And but I just don't think people are honest, at least not in America. So it's a terrible thing watching this, the kind of train wreck coming in slow motion. But I mean, watching the TPUSA, that they go right on with Erica, and then she's right there in the driver's seat with the fireworks and whatever other kinds of things she's doing. And her amazing vitriol, this kind of hidden anger that comes out through her eyes, is absolutely not just inappropriate, but it would have to be a warning sign to all Christians. The majority of these people, these kids from school, the recruits, they're blindly following orders. This is some kind of army of God is what they think they're doing. And they're going to go up against the army that's going to fight the Antichrist or whatever. That's what they believe. Charlie, the founder, wasn't so savvy about the world and about his situation, which is how I believe he got in trouble and wound up dead, i.e. in taking money and, then refusing to kowtow and so forth with Israel and I'm sure others as well. But the gang stalking that's been such a part of this, it's a really big part of the federal government, okay, of infiltration, destroying character assassination, and then taking over, hostile takeovers of anything, including especially TPUSA, who I believe they feel they have the right person there in Erica Kirk. And it's a really, I see people going back and forth. I see, people attacking Candace Owen, who's so far today, I've listened to the points she's put out there wanting clarification on. And nothing is, unusual, nothing outrageous, nothing, other than logical questions about what happened. And because she doesn't believe it was the single shooter, then how far does the conspiracy go? And she's running into a brick wall. And the whole idea is to run her out of time where people get tired of her and they're going to go with Erica. But anyway, I see they've gone with Erica now. Candace has been, in a sense, rejected. And that's the other thing I saw. So that's why I had to say something. Because that's a big thing that most people, 100% of the people miss. And, it begs the question, you should just stop looking for anything because everything that happens, you miss anyway. Okay, this weekend is the solstice. Does anything matter? It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's our society and brainwashing and all that. And like I said, I wanted to get into the subject of gang stalking because I wanted you to understand what the whole point of TPUSA is. It's gang stalking. TPUSA is gang stalking of the future. And I'm looking at Eric Kirk, and yep, there goes the fireworks. Okay, kids, wife, let's go. We're out of here. No? Then what's your justification for being there? It's not Jesus, so fuck that shit. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. Why are you there? Why? You want to save Trump's career? That ship has already sailed. One of the problems, and I did the math early on, for Trump's policies to come online and really fix everything for everybody, where everyone's stoked about the golden age, it would take a little more time than the midterms. And he doesn't have that time. What do you want him to do? He's corrupt with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, everybody's corrupt with Jeffrey Epstein. So what else is new? You got someone else? Then you better name him, her, it now. Because you're out of time. So go ahead. Put some names out there, people that would do a much better job, in this complex battle that we're all in. No, there is no one better on the economy than Trump. And, perhaps there are people better with social issues. As far as, Venezuela and all the rest of it, Trump's playing them like a fiddle and scaring, the Congress, which he wants to do, into, hopefully submission and getting the United States to be a place based on the rule of law and law and order. Don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's enough time for it to happen. I think the problem is not Trump, it's the people are the problem. They're sitting on their ass doing nothing. So, don't blame him, please. Blame that. Are you sitting on your ass? Well, then you're responsible. Well, this thing's going to go into the drink, and then what? We should just starve to death. I'm fans of the nomads. The nomads are driving they're selling everything they have, buying like old vans, school buses, UPS vans, whatever, and fixing them up to stay in them and driving out to Quartzsite, Arizona, where they can stay through the wintertime and, trying to make, some kind of life out of it. It's a growing population of people, and it's there because our society has failed. the golden age would be a wonderful thing for a reset, and give people a chance to take a breather, and give people a chance at making money, being able to make their own decisions financially and things like that. But alas, it may be denied because the people don't deserve it. Why don't they deserve it? Because they have no loyalty to God. They got the call to leave the churches because they're corrupt, and they did nothing. They sat there, with their thumb up their ass, doing nothing. Then they went home after, where do they go? Denny's or something. And then they go home, where they sit on the couch until they're supposed to go to work. And then work, make sure it's not too challenging. And they do their work. And then they come home and they go, I'm really looking forward to Disneyland this next week. And so are the kids. We might take a vacation and go through the federal parks. What do you think about that? Like the Grand Canyon, huh? That would be great. So they keep looking for the serial killer. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that they have the powers of gang stalking go. The psychological operations go into your dreams, into your thoughts, into your spiritually. You can't have one without the other. It's just one thing. So last night, in my dream, I was being messed with for something by TPUSA. And something was happening that they weren't attacking. They were putting like millions of dollars in my bank account and running interference, making sure that I had all the projects I want to do produced. And, I'm just, fabulously successful person, whatever, which would be the opposite of what God has me doing here, which is to be the worst and to be the lowest but keep going despite no chance of ever achieving anything. Yeah. That's what God wants to do. And I was doing it. I was going along with that and, happy to, for any little victory is, just trying not to be competitive feeling with when people start recommending films and things from highly produced, highly backed people that have millions of dollars behind them. And I feel like saying to them, it's really not fair to compare these people with these struggling people who are just trying to do art and being kicked in the face all day, every day. It's kind of an insult to start putting that which the world calls genius in front of them and then watching them squirm. It must be fun if you're a sadist. Well, or stupid, or both. And they told me, they said, they showed me also me dead in a car and with other people. I guess they're people I knew, but I couldn't tell who they were. Strapped in a car and just shot to death. And they said, well, the choice is yours. TPUSA, that is to me. And, it's nice to sleep in and not have to worry about your whatever project you're doing till a nice hour where you're ready to deal with it and have open doors waiting wherever you go. It must be nice. And then it's like, so what are you going to do, Z? All we're asking is you to look the other way. and you can have all this. We have enough power to make you a billionaire. And all you have to do is do this. So they're now also becoming, just tangentially, they're becoming the kingmakers, queen makers. And it all just kicked off last night. So I thought, well, they don't need me to comment on it. You obviously all have been watching this because this should be the thing you pay attention to. It's the biggest thing going on. So I would think, well, if it's that big, you got to look at it. Well, because it will eventually affect the whole world. It will change your whole world. Unless you're going to go live in a cave. Live in a cave and answer to no one. I suppose that's another possibility. But you have to go full homeless to do that. Plenty of people are. I'm not criticizing it. Plenty of people are. I don't blame them for dropping out one bit. I understand. This society is very cruel. But the cruelest thing that they've ever developed was gang stalking on a satanic level. That means that your soul is in play and dimensional portals are at play and all the tricks up Satan's sleeve are at play anytime they run a program on you. I thought I left my keys over here. They're over there. I didn't put them there. Did someone move them? I thought my mother was in this hospital. You have no record of a mother. No record of a mother? There is no mother listed. No mother listed. You've never been here before. With the hospital, you've never been here before. You better go now before we call the police. And then there's the brave young ones out there with their phones or leaving the hospital they're not supposed to know anything about and filming people stalking them. They love to get the patterns of cars, one on point, two on the side, two on the flank side, and one on the sixth, and show that pattern as they're driving. And then eventually confront the perp, why are you doing this to me? What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. And so these guys are rampant. I guess the reason it's being mentioned is because this sort of thing over the holidays really drives people nuts. So it's on. And that's all I have to say about it. It's hopefully you'll, if there's another gospel, we are to leave. I'm only calling you stupid because if you stay there, despite your better knowledge of it, that's a good way to lose everything, including your soul. So I'm giving you a warning, and hopefully you'll have to just take it up with God. I mean, not me, but use your discernment with the Lord in prayer to figure out do you even know any of your friends? Are those really your friends? You have no connection with anyone that's around you. Whoever, I don't know who I'm talking to, it's somebody. You have no connection to any of them. They're not who you thought they were. I don't know that we'll ever get an answer on this. But TPUSA is ground central for this sort of training. Just waiting for you kids.